Well, here's a game I bought, I don't know, 30 something years ago, maybe 30, maybe a couple more. And I bought it in Sydney, I do remember that. And I've played it once, twice that I can remember from back in the day. And then it's just been sitting on the shelf ever since. It's in good condition, and people occasionally see it and think it's a good idea to play it, but it sort of never actually got onto the table. So I was looking for a game to just have a crack with in between a couple of other things going on, and so I've got it out. It's Rubout, Australian design group, 1989. And so this will be probably just this video for this one, but I just thought, seeing as I've got it out, I'd do a quick video. And I'll do a bit of a run through of the rules in general just to give you a feel for it, or remind me if I watch this video again. And I'll talk a little bit about what I think it might work for and what it probably doesn't. But yeah, ADD 1989. I probably bought it in the early 1990s, like I said, when I was in Sydney. So yeah, Rubout's obviously about Chicago, Prohibition, all that sort of thing, and you've got a boss, a gangster, who can get lieutenants and enforcers, and you want to go and extort money from joints, which are all the coloured things on the board, and you've got to rub out your opposition if you want, but pretty much you do, and it's the first person to a specified amount of money, or of course you can set a time limit or whatever you want, and you get money by taking over a joint and then extorting money from it. Every second turn you get money. So let's look at this one down here. We've got Vincent Mad Dog Cole, and he's the player, he's the boss, and along the way he's found two enforcers who are like non-player characters, I guess, and they will be on the board. Not quite sure where. Oh yes, there they are. They're all stacked together there, and they've also got some goons with them. And the way the game works, the movement is, well, let's start with the board itself. The board is divided into the streets, which are spaces, and you enter and exit the joints, which are the coloured boxes, the rooms, via the hands. And to move from one to the other, let's look over the thing. If this guy here was on his own, he's in a car, but let's pretend he's on his own. And he's got a stack of goons with him. You go out for free, and then you count the spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you get next to another one with the hand, you can go into it for free. So that's out for free, 1, 2, 3, 4, in for free. So that's how far you can move, or how you move. Individuals move 5, and later on when you buy a car for 10,000, you can stack a car with the individuals, and the car enables you to move 10. And there's different sorts of joints. You've got symmetry over there, and they're colour coded. And different gangsters have specialities of being able to extort money. All the gangsters can extort money from the sort of dirty lime colour ones there. These sorts of places like this, because they're just like general businesses. And this particular gangster, he can also extort money with a +5 rating, which is very high, from booze joints. So he's really good at extorting money from booze joints. And what you do to extort is you move your character into the joint. So let's say we move into Louis' barbershop. And obviously you move in from there. So your character goes in here, and you've got to roll an 8 to extort. Plus, if you have a speciality in that colour, and everyone's got a speciality in this colour, then you add your extortion rating if you have one. Now, Vincent Mad Dog had a 5, which I think is the highest. And then you roll a dice and add your extortion rating. So he would need a 3 to be able to extort. And if he was able to extort, you pop your little colour on it. And every second turn, as it goes around all the players, the broker pays out that 8,000 plus all the rest that you've got that you're extorting. Each player gets 6 of these little markers, so you can only ever have 6 places that you're extorting at once. And you can replace, so as the game goes on, you can get better at extorting, and so you can do the easy ones first, put your marker on it, get some money, and then time goes on, you can extort from higher value places later. Because normally, I think the rules are you're trying to get a certain amount of money or the most amount of money in an amount of time, so you want to be extorting the higher value ones. So yeah, Louis' Barbershop at 8,000 is pretty low. We've got the Golden Slipper Club here, 15 to be able to extort from it, and you're only rolling 2d6. So you can see you have to have a good extortion. And that would get you 25,000 to turn. High Society Speakeasy, 20,000. You need a 13 to extort from it. The other thing that you can add to your extortion roll, there's 1 or 2 things, but the main thing is if you've got goons, and like, again, just looking at Kid Twist here that we picked up before, he's got 2 goons with him. And goons are really good because if someone tries to rub you out, they get shot first. But also they can add, 2 goons can add +1 to your extortion roll. So if you carry a whole bunch of goons around with you, that's the way you get the higher extortion rolls, like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can only have 6 people in a car, just by the way. So although a car is really good for racing around the board, you can only have a total of 6 people in a car. So you've got your gangsters, you've got your enforcers, and the gangsters also have lieutenants. So this guy's lieutenant is Peter Cole, and they all have a place where they start, and occasionally they get sent back to that place. So Peter would start in number 15, which is, funny enough, right there. And lieutenants have to be activated, enforcers don't. So that's sort of movement, and you move, and then you get somewhere, and then you do something. And you can either extort, or you can try and rub someone out, or you can activate a lieutenant. And I'm just looking for the rules. I think there's one other thing you can do. Recruit goons, activate lieutenants, do extortions, or do rub-outs. And the game turn is you start by drawing one of the cards, and if it's got an asterisk, you have to do it immediately. And they're things like go to the police station, or the boss closest to a gambling joint who has a speciality in the gambling joint moves to that joint and gets $15,000. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. Or they are cards like the enforcer cards, and you get 1 a turn, and you can either hold them unless they've got an asterisk, or you can play them. So this guy here, he's got 3 he's saved up. A couple of reputation enhanced. So, you hold those until you need them. Obviously, you add 3 to the dice when extorting money from a brothel. And there's one there, treachery. If you're within 5 of someone's lieutenant or enforcer, you can pay some money and then roll a dice, and they come to your side. So the cards are of that sort of nature. Yeah, you draw 1 a turn. If it's got an asterisk, you have to play it immediately, but otherwise you can either play it or keep it in your hand at any time. So obviously Johnny Spanish here, he's managed to get 4 enforcers just by drawing them out of the pack each turn, and they're scattered all around the board. There's quite a few bosses. There's about 12 of them, and I've got 4 people playing here. I'll say now it's not really a game to play solo, but I'm just like giving the rules a bit of a crack to see what they're like. And he's drawn another 3 from the pack, another 2 I should say, and has put them into play. So he's actually got 3 bosses, and each boss has up to 6 joint cards that it can, extortion cards that you can put down and extort. You can also get machine guns, I'll come to that in a second, I guess. Machine guns you get cards for, and they give you the opportunity to buy them. And this is mid-turn for this guy. That's why the dice are there. It says turn. So I'll have to put those machine guns down with one of these characters here, because they got the opportunity to buy them with that card there. That's what they picked this turn, so they're going to go for it straight away. Yeah, and what I'm sort of finding is that it's not too bad. It plays okay. There's a couple of like 20-year-old comments on Board Game Geek, and if you're into your gaming, it's pretty. It's not that well made in terms, especially in terms of 2025. I mean, the quality's not great, but back in the day, I seem to recall thinking it was fine, and so the components are okay, and I'm finding it sort of plays okay. I remember a long time ago we had a group of people and we were going to have a few beers and rub each other out, and it was a fun night, but I'm not sure whether we finished the game, because I think what happened was after a few beers, it's a bit long for anyone who's not an actual gamer, and I think people were thinking it would be like a couple of hours, have a few beers, a bit of a laugh, and that'd be it. And of course, a couple of hours and you're probably halfway through it, especially first time players, and so I don't think it got finished, but we still had a good night. And as I'm playing through it solo, which again, it's not really a solo game, I would say that now, I think the mechanics are quite clear, and I can see how it would be fun with a few people who are just in the mood to have a good time, because, you've got to run around and get stuff, and then as you start to get the feel of it, the game evolves. And you'll see now that all the counters are run pretty much all together, because what happened a couple of turns ago was that someone, and obviously they're all me, but someone decided, oh, I could try and rub that guy out. I wonder what happens there. And so I did the rub out sequence, which is very simple sort of combat table. A couple of modifiers like machine guns and number of goons you got with you, and no one got killed. But it suddenly became apparent that if you don't have goons and you're just a boss wandering around trying to extort money out of joints, that you're going to get rubbed out. And so now everyone has been out collecting goons, because goons start the board. You can see here, it's red on red, unfortunately, and this is where you recruit goons from. I might look at this one down. I'm on the wrong side, really. That one there, the red ones. At the start of the game, there's a setup with a certain number of goons, and it's not very many, get put at each of the hangouts, and you can go in and try and recruit them. So that there is a 10 to recruit, and it's like Extortion, you basically just roll 2d6, except when you're recruiting goons, you can pay $2,000, and it adds one to your dice. And so once you've got a couple of extortions and a couple of rounds and you've got a bit of money, you pretty much spend whatever you need to make sure that you can recruit every single turn without missing, because otherwise you're just missing turns, and the goons become more important than a few $1,000. So everyone at the moment is gooning up. and I think that's like the next stage is that they're all going to goon up, and to make sure that no boss is particularly vulnerable. And I can see already what's going to happen next as well, which is that they're going to be looking to selectively go and occupy higher value, higher extortion rating joints, so that you're getting more money from the bank each turn, and basically not be killed, keep your joints, and take other people out if you can, and eventually someone will get to 250,000, and because that's what this game's going to go to. So yeah, like I said, I can see the dynamic, because if you've got people who maybe just out to have a good time, then, and a couple of drinks before they get too many drinks in them, it's great fun, and you can like just rub people out and and I think it's a good game. But for people who aren't good at gaming, or people who are new to gaming, it might be a little bit long for them, because I think the games are like 3 to 4 hours, and certainly this one's feeling like that. So for most newbies, that's probably a bit long. And of course, if you're any good at gaming, if gaming's your hobby and you've got a lot of board games, and I'm a war gamer and strategy gamer, then it probably feels just a little bit light and sort of like clunky. Not clunky, poorly made. Sorry guys, but compared to all the stuff available these days, it is. And it probably doesn't hold your attention long enough. There's just not enough of a challenge. It's very dice centric, and so it possibly doesn't really hit the sweet spot with anybody. But of course, no one's going to be buying it anyway because it's like probably long out of print by now. So that's Rubout. I'll play a few more rounds. Like I said, I'm up to round 10, and I'll probably just play it out, to be honest. It's just to get a feel for the end game, and then I can put it on the shelf, and at least when people say, what's that game like, I don't have to tell them that I don't really know because I haven't played it in 30 years. At least I can say, well, I got it off the table and it was okay. And who knows, maybe it will come out once again. Maybe I will get a group. And but yeah, it's all right.